Hey everybody, it's Janae with the Mother's Treasure Painting Studio. Tonight we're painting this cute peanut with a food allergy awareness ribbon that says food allergies are nuts. And this one's pretty important to me because my daughter has peanut and tree nut allergies. So with Food Allergy Awareness Month coming up, this is pretty fitting. So I'm going to go ahead and get started by giving this a base coat of brown just around the peanut area. I'm going to leave the area where the ribbon is empty for right now. Now I'm going to go ahead, and while I'm covering this base coat, I'm going to paint over these chalk lines, and that's okay because that was just part of my planning process. I'll come back in just a little while and paint those lines back in. Okay, you guys, I hope you're all caught up. That was super easy. Like I said, it was just one base coat of brown across the entire piece except for the ribbon. So now we're going to go in and do the ribbon. Food allergy awareness is a teal color, so I've gotten my turquoise and I've added just a pinch of green to it to try to create a little bit more of a teal color. So I've gotten that same medium brush, and I'm going to go ahead and start filling in this ribbon area. Alright, now it's time to blow this dry. Notice that reflection on your screen? That's just the wet paint. As we blow it dry, you'll see it magically disappear. And that's how we know that our paint is getting good and dry. Pretty simple so far. So I hope you guys are hanging with me, and I hope you've gotten your peanut base done and your ribbon done. So now it's time to move on to the next step. The next step is actually going to be putting those lines back onto the peanut. So now we've got our picture pulled back up for reference. You notice that those lines on the peanut are a lighter color brown. So I'm over here mixing up some brown with a little bit of white, and we've got the color we're wanting. So instead of tracing these back on, I'm just going to go ahead and try to paint them back on. And the reason that that's going to work out okay is because I'm going to paint over top of them in a little bit with the word nuts, and so they don't have to be exactly perfect. I'm just basically trying to get them lined up, and we're going to move along, but we're going to give them a little bit of the shape of the peanut. Notice I'm going slow, taking my time, and they're going to come together and meet a little closer at the end. Each stroke's going to start together, widen out, and then come back together near the end. Okay, so now we're almost done with these. You'll notice that they're not all the same width or length, and that's okay. So now we're going to go the opposite direction. These we're going to give a little bit of a curve toward the end of the peanut, and they're also not going to be the same width and the same length, and they're not going to be exactly the same distance apart. That's okay. Again, we're just trying to give a quick idea of a peanut, and we're not trying to get exactly perfect. So you'll notice that there's a few little wispies that overlap my teal ribbon. So I'm going to grab my little tiny liner brush and grab some teal paint and go back over these so that we don't see those little lines overlapping my teal ribbon. And now a quick second coat just to make sure that we've got a nice bold ribbon with no streaks. There we go. So now we're going to blow it dry again. We're going to watch that sheen, that reflection just magically disappear again, and then we'll know it's dry and we're ready to move on to writing on it. So now I'm going to take my chalk and I'm going to write food allergies are. I'm going to write all of that on the blue ribbon. So I'm not crazy about that A, so I'm going to change it to be a regular A, like a capitalized A, to match allergies. You can't really see it there, but you get the idea. And then I'm going to chalk in the word nuts, N-U-T-S, right here at the bottom. And then we're going to come back in and paint over top of that. Now, food allergies are is going to be all one color, and then nuts is going to be all different colors. So I'm going to reference my picture again because I remember adding some highlights here and there on the original that I drew. So let me see. It does look like I have some white highlights on my ribbon, and so I'm going to go ahead and get my white ready and do that before I do my lettering. So while I'm right here, I'm going to go ahead and do my outline. I've picked up a small round brush, round tip brush, and I'm just watering down my black just a little bit so that it flows nicely off of my brush, and I'm outlining this ribbon. Now the key to the ribbon is going to be this top part where the words are. We're going to carry on over that outline to overlap the ribbon that's going to go behind the words. I hope that's making sense. You'll see it come together in a minute. So we're going to give this a really sharp outline of black. The piece of the ribbon where the lettering is going to have a solid outline that just goes all the way down. And that way it gives the idea that that part of the ribbon is in front. So now we're going to go ahead and start lettering. I'm using a very small angled brush. It's a little short stubby brush, but it works great for lettering. After you've seen some of my videos, you'll know this is my favorite lettering brush. And I don't vary too far from the basic style of lettering. I keep it all pretty much the same, but I like that. So if you want to get a little wild and crazy, feel free to do it in your own lettering, or you can even print this and trace it on, print it in a different font and trace it on. That'd be really pretty too. So you'll notice that each stroke I do for the lettering, I load the brush. I don't do too many additional strokes before I load my brush because I want to make sure I have a lot of paint. That's how you get nice, crisp, rounded edges. Okay, so we've got food allergies are, and I love it. I think it looks great. You can notice that it looks really shiny for you guys on the screen because that light is reflecting off of the wet paint. So while it may look to you like I've added some silver or some white to the lettering, I have not. It's just an illusion because of the reflecting paint. So now I'm going to get all my colors ready, and I'm going to paint the word nut in all different colors. So I'm going to start with an Admiral Blue for the N. The U is going to be green, I think. I may change my mind between now and then, but I'm going to start with blue. And you'll notice for this, I want the letters to be a little fatter, but my brush is still small, so I'm going to go over the letters a couple times and just widen out each stroke. So now I'm doing the green. The green's a little transparent, so I may have to go over it an additional time after it's dry, just to make sure that it's not quite so see-through. Now it's time to add pink. Now I traced this T on as a lowercase t, but I've changed my mind and I'm going to make it a capital T. And we'll come back in a little bit and we'll erase this chalk line that I have left. And the S is going to be yellow. Now yellow is always very see-through, so we'll definitely have to come in and add a second coat of it. Look how cute that is, you guys. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and grab the hairdryer. I'm going to move my paints so that they don't get dried out. And I'm going to blow this dry and get some of that reflection off so I can see it a little bit better. And then I will come in and finish it off. So now that it's dry, I can tell I definitely need a couple more coats of some different colors. Green and yellow definitely need a little bit of work, so I'm going to work on those right now. And I'm using just that same little stubby angle brush and filling it in as I go. Okay, and I love that. And I'm going to actually add an exclamation point right here on the end in orange because food allergies are truly nuts. And I really hope that there's some food allergy mamas out there who love this design because it's very personal to me and it means a lot to me. So I hope that you guys find it and love it just as much as I do. So right here, you'll notice that I have gone and gotten a clean paper towel with clean water. And just, it's a little bit damp. And now I'm just dabbing over all of those letters that are dry where I had chalk outlines that maybe didn't get wiped off and didn't get painted over exactly. Now you don't want to push this towel down on here and scrub really hard or you'll have little paper towel balls everywhere and it'll be a mess. But to just take it and dab across some of these areas, it picks up the chalk great. You may have to go around a couple times, but it's really easy to pick up some of that chalk dust and get rid of it. And what better way to give yourself a guide than something you can wipe off when you're done? So now the final touch for me for these letters here is going to be giving them an outline. I'm outlining them in black with a very, very fine tip round brush. And then I'm going to come back in and give all these letters a little bit of a white highlight. So now I'm just going over each of these with a little bit of white with that same round tip brush to help them stand out. And then we're done. I hope you guys had a good time. I hope you found this video helpful, and I can't wait to paint with you again next time. Thanks for watching.